Happy full moon. There's a lot of energy in the air. This is a full moon in Gemini, 13 degrees. There's lots of thinking, there's lots of processing, lots of mental processing. Gemini is a dualistic sign, so there's the devil on one shoulder and the devil on the other shoulder, talking, 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 as you see both sides of situations and experience that dualistic energy in your life. You have probably been trying to let go of an aspect in your life that has felt limiting for some time, and you're aware of it. And when a full moon like this comes around, that pings us where it hurts, meaning it pings us in the areas of saying, where are you drained? Where are you losing energy? Where are you bored? Where are you no longer wanting to put your energy or it feels like it's gone into a vacuum? And where are you gaining energy? Those are the influence of the nodes of destiny that this moon is speaking to. So, this has to do with your evolution as a being, as a soul, and where you want to go in your life and what's holding you back. And often, what's holding us back are threads, and they're like subconscious threads of our old identities. And so, as I speak about this, think about for you, what is an old identity? It could be something with this Gemini moon. I mean, and also because the South Node's in Virgo, also a mental sign ruled by Mercury. So it's the mind, the overthinking. So where do you do so much overthinking, so much perfectionism, so much being hard on yourself, so much like it's like the inner school marm that's like, oh, no, 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 you didn't say that correctly. You better go back and practice that again. And you're just like sort of retracing your steps over and over again, trying to get it right. So, where are you trying to get an A that you've been trying for too long and it's time to let go? And so, this lunation is in a mutable square. So mutable just means change, and a square means forced action or tension. So you may be feeling a lot of tension in this week and moving forward because there's continuing influences from what's happening with this full moon. This is a big one. This is one where you are really looking at what holds you back. And it's going to be a thing that feels like it saps or drains your energy. And that something in the story that you tell yourself, this is a lot about stories, because again, it's ruled by Mercury and the mind and words. There's something you've been telling yourself that you have to stay holding on to something that's draining you. What if you told yourself a new story that it's okay for you to go for the thing that's filling your cup, that fills you up, that gives you energy, and you know what that is? As I'm speaking to you right now, you know what that is. And yet you keep saying no to yourself due to this sort of trying to get an A, perfectionism, um, per just, you know, beating yourself over the head. Let's put it that way. So, where are you beating yourself over the head in an old identity that's got a ruler and is being really mean to you? So, don't be mean to yourself anymore and start to recognize these anxiety patterns. There's a lot of anxiety associated with this lunation as well, because we're dealing with North Node in Pisces, which is this, Pisces is the part that's like a psychic sponge pulling in and absorbing. And then Gemini is always weighing and balancing and discussing and debating. And Virgo is trying to get it right all the time. And then Sagittarius, where the sun is wanting the big vision, wanting to be philosophical, wanting to not have to go over details anymore. And all of these parts they can't seem to compromise right now. A great idea for this full moon is you can just do 2 pages, or it could be 1 page, where you just describe the old identity you're letting go of and all of its nitpicking things that it wants to say to you about what you're not getting done and how you didn't get an A and you didn't do it right and you got to keep going till it's dead. The one where you're feeling so exhausted, because so many of us are feeling exhausted because it's a moment of really deep transition for many people. If you just look around you, everyone's in this transition. We're all doing it. Write it all down, get some fire safe container, and you can just burn those words and release them. So that is like one technique you can use. And I also just wanted to recommend some self-soothing techniques for this nervous energy that's happening right now. Because if you watch me and you are highly sensitive, um, and let me just say that we can have an amped up nervous system a couple of ways. One is you have experienced some negative events that have caused you to have PTSD, or you've had trauma, and that can amp up your nervous system. And you can have an amped up nervous system because you are just wired to feel and read energy. And so those are the people that I usually work with. That's how I'm wired. And sometimes it's a combination of both, and it doesn't matter what the origin is. You can still, if you have one of those nervous systems that's just like, you know, really awake to everything and gets overstimulated, this kind of full moon can really um, affect you. So, besides writing down the stuff with the old identity and burning it, I would recommend using Rescue Remedy. I don't have a bottle here because I forgot to bring one. It's a little yellow bottle, and it's readily available on Amazon or at drugstores, even natural food stores. And you can just take a few drops of that, and it has several 5 remedies in it that help with an sort of a lot of high anxiety that's going on with you. And also, you can do some things like you can cross your arms like this. I've shown this before, where you just kind of do this and sit like this for a while. And what this does is it helps the two hemispheres of your brain speak to each other and get into a higher octave of creativity and less of a separated state of consciousness. So just twisting your arms like this is nice. You can also do this, or this is nice. And you can also put one hand on the back of your head and one here, and just kind of hold here. This is also good for hysterical people or people that are really upset, or small children who are having a temper tantrum, or an adult that's having a temper tantrum. Um, you can also just on the sides of your nails. This has to do with nerve endings, and this is good for anxiety as well. I feel like I'm forgetting something that I was going to say. But I think that's enough. I think that's enough for today. I was going to do this as 2 videos, and then the day was just getting long. And I myself wasn't feeling my best today. Just as a highly sensitive, sometimes I don't feel great. So we always have to honor how we're built and how we're wired. And even if it doesn't match a more robotic, um, society image of us, we just have to really honor. I want you to honor how you're built and how you're made and the contribution that you make as who you are. And just recognize that you may have a lot of feelings coming up about this block that you've been dealing with that's been funneling your life through this like restrictive old identity. And just say hello to just you, not even a new identity, but just you without that identity or letting go of that identity, and see how you begin to unwind and just decompress from this energy. So I hope this is helpful, and I will see you soon.